Finally done. Finally, the saga is over. He is now a West Ham player. He joins West Ham. We have a new right back, someone we've been wanting, someone that I wanted at West Ham as well. Finally, that it's done. I'm just relieved that it's done. It adds another signing to us. Sorry if I keep looking over there. So what I'm doing is I've got my laptop here. So I'm going to read off what the West Ham website has just said. So, West Ham is delighted to announce the signing of Aaron Wan Bissaka. The right back, 26, joins the Hammers from Manchester United on a 7-year contract. That's a huge contract. The Londoner moves to London Stadium after making 190 appearances for the Red Devils across 5 seasons, during which he developed into one of the best one-on-one defenders in the Premier League, won the FA Cup, EFL Cup, and started the Europa League final. The Crystal Palace Academy graduate has been a Premier League regular since the age of 19, appeared 35 times in European competitions and has been capped by England at under 21 level, and now he will continue his career back in London. The article goes on, just if I keep looking away, guys. He said it was a no-brainer for me to join West Ham. I'm excited and happy to be here. The 26-year-old said, "It is an amazing feeling to be back in London and I'm excited for what's to come. I was born here, so I know the ins and outs of London, which plays a big part in my life. So to be back in this city means a lot to me." Yeah, you know, to be back with his family, that would be a big thing. You know, back with his friends. That's a huge thing, for a footballer. We forget, yes, they're on amazing money and they've got amazing lives. But, to be back with your family and your friends where you've grown up, it'll be good for him. I'm happy to be here. I'm grateful for the warm welcome, and I'm excited to be playing for a club and will give it my all. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. It does go on, and I will carry on. I can't wait to get on the pitch. Sorry, this camera angle's awful. I can't wait to get on the pitch. Get to know the players and push on from there. I see the team that is in it together, that will push each other to win, and a group that has got each other's backs through the thick and thin. So being part of that and having the assurance helps a lot when you are surrounded by a good squad. A few comments coming in. Hit the like button, guys, as well. Really helps us out. What a squad, says Richard Day. I agree, mate. Totally agree. What else did it say? Technical director Tim, Big Tim, expressed his happiness at signing a player who is ready to contribute immediately and will add top-class Premier League quality to Julian Lopetegui's side. Tim said, "I'm delighted we have been able to get the deal to sign Aaron over the line." That's terrible. That sounds like hello accent, doesn't it? Said Sidon. "His career is exactly the type of player we are looking to attract to this club in the prime years of his career." I cannot do the German accent. I won't do the German accent anymore. He's an incredibly talented defender who we rate very highly. Superb in one-on-one situations. He's versatile too, which is clearly another positive. He's played over 170 Premier League games during his career. He knows the division inside out. I'd like to personally thank the board for their continuing backing to bring players of such quality to West Ham. It really excites me as we prepare for the start of the season this weekend. Everyone at West Ham would like to welcome Aaron and his family to East London. There we go. So that's the... I'm sure you can all read yourself, but it's nice to get it out there and see what people are saying. Michael Bleach says, "Prem will be afraid of us. We mean business now. What league position, realistically?" I'll answer those questions in a minute. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy with this one. As I said to you the other day about Vladimir Coufal, listen, Vlad's been a great servant for West Ham, but it was quite obvious, even at Celta Vigo, I know it was a pre-season, that he was seen as a weak link. And I think, top Premier League managers, they used to identify Cresswell. They would be identifying Coufal. I think someone like Wan Bissaka, yes, he has his limitations going forward, but we might not need him to do that. As much as Lopetegui likes to play that system, pinging it across, they can work on him. They can work on his crosses. For me, the most exciting thing about this signing is because he's so good defensively, it will free up Bowen and he won't have to stress so much, Jared, about dropping back all the time. He will be allowed to be that man, or whoever... Because I imagine our system's got to be quite fluid. Whoever's occupying that right-hand side, will be allowed to sort of have a bit more free weight and confidence in Aaron Wan Bissaka that he will, be good enough and, clever enough to not make any errors or be caught out, Kirk says another solid signing. And Michael says, rumours have it that 2 more ins if we can ship it out. Yep, I read exactly the same, mate. If it was a dream, it would be Fofana and Duran. If I could say 2 players, if it was 2 more, I would love Fofana and Duran. I don't think it will be because they're both big money. If I'm gonna say who I think it's gonna be, I think it will be that Hollah from PSG. Again, I'm sure he was 20 million as well, if I remember. But I do, and I think Duran might be a loan to buy, potentially. There's obviously still Trevor Chalobah as well. I don't think the Zuma thing has helped. Obviously, that's, at the moment, that's a bit in limbo, so God knows what's going to happen there. But yeah, you would now expect West Ham to be trying to move players out now. Whether it's Souček or not, who knows. The Ings, the Soufals, and we'll wait and see what happens there. What other comments have we got here? It's shipping out. That's the problem. It is, mate. No one wants to buy what you don't want yourself. Hardest thing in the game, and they know that we don't. Richard Day says, "Do we need another striker with the Antonio Rivers?" Yeah, I would like another striker, because you got to think, mate, that it's Mickey's last year. I'm not the biggest Mickey fan. Anyway, I think he misses too many chances. He works hard. He does all that stuff. But if we can sort a problem that will be a problem next summer with Antonio, probably going because it's the end of his contract, then yeah, I'm all for it, mate. Go and get a new striker. Like I say, I would like it to be Duran, ideally. What else we got here? True Ralph, enjoy the sun. Enjoying the sun. Some won't pass the medical, i.e. corner. Yeah, corner as well. Thumbs up. Right, let's go back to this comment. What Prem will be afraid of us. I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to be that Tottenham TV when they got done up with the league are fearing us, and then Lanzini scores a last minute goal and it's they're memed for the rest of their life. I think what I will say is that Lopetegui, the team, and what Tim's done, he's given the tools to do something. The pressure's on him now, Lopetegui. He can't say he hasn't been backed. We've brought in some fantastic players. The league is hard. The league is difficult. There's no easy game in the Premier League. We've got to start fast. It might take a month. It might take 6 weeks. It might take 6-7 games for West Ham to really start to click into a system. But once it does click, I think we could be really exciting. I was quite happy with some of the stuff I see in the first half against Celta Vigo. I thought I could actually see a West Ham team that had patterns of play, a passing identity. And if Lucas Paquetá is in the mood for this season, because we know he has sulks and we know he goes a little bit wobbly where we don't, he won't be in games. But if he's in the sort of mood he was in on Saturday, and you got Bowen and you got Kudus and Somerville looked exciting, give Fulkrug his first goal when and as that comes. It could be a very exciting season. I'm not prepared to, like what Richard says there, what position is realistic. I could say what realistically West Ham should be aiming for, but that doesn't mean I think, or, I don't want to be accused, like people will say, West Ham fans should be grateful. And it's like, well, West Ham with this squad should be looking to finish in the top 7. That's it. Top 7, top 8. West Ham should be at least looking to qualify for Europa Conference League again. If we got higher than that, amazing. If it was 8th, is it a disaster? Not a disaster. I think that would be a solid first season. But I think the more seasons you go of being out of Europe, the harder it gets to, get the Fofanas and stuff like that. Yes, we've done really, really well with deals this summer. But we get ourselves back in Europe. And, let's assume one of the big boys did go next summer. Then you put yourself in a position to be able to buy again. This is arguably, on paper at the moment, because we haven't seen it play out, this is one of the best squads that West Ham's had in a very, very long time in terms of depth, in terms of options off the bench, in terms of cover in every single position, competition for places. It's really exciting, really exciting. What we got here? We need another striker. The two we have are impact strikers not starting, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that's a fair point, mate. I do. I think that's a valid point. You've got the big lump, who's a great finisher, wins balls in the air. Can he go for a whole 90? Probably not. You got Antonio, who can, you know, bulldoze and batter. Again, can he go for 90 minutes? No. Is his goal scoring record as good? Not really. But I do think we've got goals everywhere. Kudus just, you know, when he's on it, he's magic man, can get a goal from anywhere with that left foot. Bowen, he's goal scoring, he's finishing, everything's improved dramatically. Paqueta's good for a goal. Yeah, we've got goals everywhere, which is a good thing. Kirk says we need to give the team time. Now we do. That's it. Give the team time. Ralph said agrees with you. Richard Day says, who would you have as a striker if it isn't Duran? That's a really good question. That's a tough question to answer. I would have loved Jonathan David at West Ham. Just again, it's something different. He pace, good finisher. I don't think that will happen now. Obviously, Ivan Toney I would have loved, but again, that's probably out of our price range now. I wouldn't particularly have liked Solanke and the Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I weren't particularly keen on them. But if it wasn't Duran, I'm sure there was a striker or is a striker out there. You know, we hear that Wally guy, I think that's how you pronounce it, W-A-H-I. And there's a couple like them sort of names in the Ligue 1 that might be like a little bit of a gamble, and you end up getting like a Diafra Sakho. I'm not saying attitude-wise, but in terms of how he could score goals and stuff like that, you might get a little gamble, one that pays off. Sean says, surely we can win a cup this year. Loppy is a cup specialist. Listen, mate, I hope more than anything I'm sitting here in February saying we've won the League Cup, or sitting here in May next year saying that we've won the FA Cup, mate. It should always be the aim to get as far as you can in the Cups, and let's hope we can do that, because, listen, that Conference League was one of the greatest moments in my life supporting West Ham, and if we could go and, you know, beat that by winning, you know, an FA Cup, and year after maybe Europa League, would be amazing. Ralph is okay with Fulkrug for a season. Michael Blee says, most pundits, YouTube streamers from other clubs have us at 10th. What is your expectation? Like I say, I think 7th and Conference League should be, and Europa League should be the aim. Where do I think we'll finish? Anywhere from 6th to 10th. I think anywhere between 6th and 10th. Ralph says 7th. Kirk says Europe is a must. Yeah, I hope so, mate. At least we are not like the delusional Spurs fans. Michael says, how about the guy Chelsea were trying to get with the Gallagher transfer? Oh, was his name something like Omaradian or something like that? Again, if he's not, I think he turned down Chelsea, so he'd probably turn West Ham down. Ralph says, we have strikers in our midfield, 2 at the moment. Just move players around and we can do that now. Yeah, that's a good thing, which I see again on Saturday. There was a good fluidity to West Ham. You know, you had, even Souček was good the weekend, I thought. You know, when he came, he sort of did what Declan used to do, where he fill in at centre-back and free up bits up. That is what Alvarez is going to do, in my opinion. Alvarez, what Souček was doing the weekend, Alvarez will be better at that. Alvarez will, you know, come in, he will fill in at the back. Then you got Rodriguez, who looks like he's a real neat and tidy player. You've got Paquetá, who's the magic man in that midfield. And then, you know, just pace and trickery all over the place. Most exciting team that West Ham's had in a long time. Pace as well. God, I've been screaming for West Ham to get pace. You know, I know they're a bit frustrating, some players, you know, like the Adama Traores and the, you know, Alan St. Maxim, who I used to love, but their pace is enough to frighten fullbacks that it drops them back a few yards. Now we've got a little bit of that, you know, Somerville bags of pace, Caduce's pace and dribbling ability. So we've got a lot of problems for other managers to think about now, which is a nice thing to do. And I'd like to think that, you know, in certain games this year, we will try and impose ourselves on the opposition rather than trying to nullify them. Rather than thinking, how do we stop them? I think the mindset, hopefully, in most games will be, how do we beat them? How do we beat them? Not how do we stop them, how do we beat them? And that's one thing I would like the most under Lopetegui. Who is I don't know what that means, mate. Sorry. Expect a lot of different lineups this season. Loppy will use the squad. Yeah. Again, good point. That's being universally used by Paul from our channel. And I know that Claret and Booge say it, and Gonzo have said it. Don't look at it as an 11 anymore. This is a squad. And that's another really good thing. Under Moyes, opposition managers could predict exactly how West Ham are going to play and predict exactly the lineup we're going to put out. Where under Lopetegui, I hope, we see different formations in game, different different groups of players lining up, which again keeps opposition managers guessing. Fingers crossed. He's not a mug. Lopetegui is not a mug. In the first game, what's my 11 for the first game? I would personally, I think, man for man, it's very, very close. I think they have a very, very good player in Ollie Watkins, obviously. They have some really good midfielders, John McGinn. I like Matty Cash at right back as well. But yeah, if it was my team, Aaron Wan Bissaka starts, Tobido starts, Kilman starts, Emerson obviously picks himself. Obviously without Alvarez, it's going to have to be Rodriguez. And I would expect it to be the same line. I think Somerville will eventually start as the weeks go on, but I think it will be the Paquetá just sort of slightly on the left, but will fall into the middle. Kudus picks himself, Bowen picks himself, and then it probably will be Antonio start with Fulkrug coming on. But I could be wrong. It could be Fulkrug starting. It's a good thing to have. Ralph says, think we lose versus Villa. We'll take a 3-1 loss as long as I can see the players begin to gel. Yeah, I think we lose the first game. I think it'll just be, just a few things being gel, ironed out and stuff. If you remember last year, Villa got absolutely popped, I think, by Newcastle. And everyone thought, that's not great. And I think they lost a couple of games quite badly. And then they just went on this ridiculous run and managed to get Champions League football. I'm not going to say West Ham do that, but I think that's what it could be. It could take a little bit of time before it all comes in. And Villa's a tough team to come up against first game, full of confidence. I'm not sure what their pre-season is. I need to do some research on that. Where are we? I've got money on 2-1, Ralph. Michael, I'm not that optimistic, mate. No, I'm not. I'm optimistic about the season, but I'm not optimistic about that game. I could be wrong. I remember I always point to this. Slav, Slav's first year, Arsenal away. We won that game, looked really good that game as well, when Dimitri Payet announced himself to the Premier League. And how good that result was and catalyst for the season we had that year. We had a fantastic season that last season. I know it helped that it was the last season at Upton Park as well. That really helped push that season on. But, we had really far in the cup that year. We qualified for Europe that year, and then it all went bad, and now it's getting good again. But that's what I'm saying. Then first couple of games can really push you on. You don't want the pressure building too much where, let's pretend we lost to Villa, we lost to Palace, 100% we lose to Manchester City. And then that could be 3 games where you're like, ooh, pressure start, and you start getting a bit twitchy. You want that first win quick as possible, or even a draw. I would take a draw the weekend. It used to be the classic, against Aston Villa. It used to be a classic 1-1, didn't it, or 2-2 back in the day when I used to have a season ticket. What we got here? Michael says midfield 3: Paquetá, Rodders, Kudus, front 3 of Somerville, Bowen, and a striker. Yeah, I like it, mate. I like that idea. Villa pre-season was awful, but lots of first teamers haven't played. There we go. Thanks for that, mate. Same as us, Ralph. Only saw some of the Betway Cup. Anything else, guys? Anything else? There's 29 watching, so please hit that like button, guys, for me. That really, really helps the channel out. I know it's a cliche in every single West Ham fan channel, but it does. It does. It gets us the algorithms, and gets us out there. If there's anything else, guys, between now and the weekend, obviously I will be back. I don't know whether I'm going to do previews so much this season. I'm not sure. If I do, they won't be as long as I used to. I used to do about 10, 12-minute preview video. I don't know. I think sometimes the previews can be a bit pointless, video. We'll wait and see. How I feel about the previews. Definitely reviews, though. I'll definitely be doing my reviews after games and podcasts and stuff like that. Yeah. If you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're not new around here and you're old, get us out there, guys. Tell your mates down the pubs. West Ham World, get on YouTube, help us out as well. Get us up there a little bit as well. Funny how the games worked out. Leicester and win the league. 100%, mate. Right, I'm done. Till next time, guys. Come in your hands. Keep believing. Subscribe to the West Ham World. Let's go.